Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about top 10 facts about Tudeh Party of Iran. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. The Tudeh Party of Iran is an Iranian Communist Party. Formed in 1941 with Soleiman Mirza Eskandari as its head, it had considerable influence in its early years, and played an important role during Mohammad Mossaddegh's campaign to nationalize the Anglo-Persian Oil Company and his term as Prime Minister. Here are 10 facts about Tudeh Party of Iran. Number 10. The British-Soviet Allied invasion of 1941–42 resulted in the end of Reza Shah's reign and his forced exile to South Africa. Many political prisoners were subsequently released, and under this new atmosphere, nationalist and socialist groups once again flourished. Iraj Iskandari and his closest colleagues decided to form a Marxist-Leninist party appealing to the broad masses. They founded the Tudeh Party on 29 September 1941, electing Soleiman Mirza Eskandari as chairman. Initially the party was intended to be a liberal rather than a radical party, with a platform stressing the importance of constitutional and individual rights, protecting democracy and judicial integrity from fascism, imperialism and militarism. At Soleiman Eskandari's urging, the party initially attempted to appeal to non-secular masses by barring women from membership, organizing Moharram processions, and designating a special prayer room in its main after clubhouse. This orientation did not last, and the party moved rapidly to the left within months of its founding. Number 9. In 1944 the party entered the 14th Majlis elections, and 8 of its candidates were elected. It also established the secret Tudeh Party Military Organization of Iran, or TPMO, Tudeh Party Military Organization of Iran, made up of officers in the military. The TPMO provided the party with intelligence and information from the military to protect it from the security forces, and give it military strength, though historians believe the party had no plan at that time to use the TPMO to stage a coup. At the same time, Tudeh took a strong stand in favor of women's rights starting in 1943. This included advocating for equal pay for equal work, 2 months of maternity leave for female workers, and otherwise standing for women's social rights, working with those who had been fighting for these goals for years and were socialist. Even so, issues of reproduction, sexuality, and other elements within family life were not discussed. From this point on, the party grew immensely and became a major force in Iranian politics. By early 1945 the party had managed to create the first mass organization in Iran's history. Police records later revealed it had an estimated 2,200 hardcore members, 700 of them in Tehran, 10,000s of sympathizers in its youth and women's organizations, and 100,000s of sympathizers in its labor and craft unions. Number 8. After the fact, the party engaged in self-criticism of its policies toward Mosaddegh at its fourth plenum held in Moscow in July 1957. They found them sectarian and leftist, and not to recognizing the progressive nature of the oil nationalization movement. Number 7. In the early 1970s the Iranian guerrilla movement began in northern Iran in the province of Mazandaran. The 1970s also witnessed the birth of widespread workers' strikes, and demonstrations and university campuses became a hotbed of revolutionary activity. In 1973 Tudeh released a brochure titled Oil from Iran, an imperialist oil monopolies, likely advocating for oil nationalization. The Tudeh Party drastically increased its activities, recruiting many youth and organizing regional committees supporting the Islamic Revolution, when others on the left opposed it. Number 6. During the revolution many political prisoners were freed, and the Tudeh Party and other leftist groups were able to participate in the presidential and parliamentary elections for the first time in many years. However, the majority of seats in the Majlis were won by the Islamic Republican Party of Ayatollah Beheshti, and leftist and nationalist organizations were forced out of the loop. The newly elected president Abolhassan Bani Sadr, who had originally been close with Ayatollah Khomeini, also became increasingly frustrated with the developments that had been taking place and opposed the domination of the clergy and the religious factions in Iranian politics. In addition, the party denounced Amnesty International's call to end the summary executions and called it blatant interference in Iranian affairs. In 1981 the Majlis, dominated by the Islamic Republican Party, forced Bani Sadr out of office, which initiated a wave of protests and demonstrations from all segments of the populace. Bani Sadr later fled the country. Number 5. In February 1949 there was an attempt on the life of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. The party was blamed by the government and banned. The government confiscated its assets, dissolved affiliated organizations, especially the Central Council, and rounded up some 200 leaders and cadres. The party continued to function underground, however, and by 1950 it had organized its supporters under the banner of the Iran Society for Peace Jamiat-e-Irani-e Havadar-e-Sol, and was publishing 3 daily papers: Razm, Mardam and Besui-e-Ayande. In December 1950, the TPMO, its military organization, managed to arrange for escape of key members of the party leadership who had been in jail since early 1949. Such suppression was assisted by conservatives detesting the Tudeh Party, which was later outlawed and allied with Mosaddegh. One Iranian conservative newspaper even editorialized, "The Tudeh Party, with its Santonic doctrine of class struggles, has incited ignorant workers to violate the sacred right of private property, and inflict social anarchy upon the center of the country." This uprising proves that Tudeh is an enemy of private property, of Iran and of Islam. Number 4. During this time, the rest of the international communist movement was also thriving. The communist world expanded dramatically in the decade following World War II, with Eastern Europe, China, North Korea and Vietnam all becoming states dominated by their respective communist parties. Usually via military victory. In the United States, Iran was seen as the holder of reserves of petroleum with vital strategic value to Western countries, and as part of a northern tier of countries along with Greece and Turkey, that constituted a geopolitical first line of defense for the Mediterranean, and for Asia. To counter the activities of the USSR, the CIA established Operation TPBEDAMN in the late 1940s, funded at $1 million a year. It prepared both disguised "grey" propaganda, or deliberately misrepresented black propaganda in the form of newspaper articles, cartoons, leaflets and books, which it translated into Persian, most of which portrayed the Soviet Union and the Tudeh as anti-Iranian, or anti-Islamic, described the harsh reality of life in the Soviet Union, or explained the Tudeh's close relationship with the Soviets and its Popular Front strategy. Number 3. The party played an important role both directly and indirectly during the pivotal era of Iranian history, that began with the 1951 nationalization of the British Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, AIOC, and ending with the 1953 overthrow of Mohammad Mosaddegh by a CIA-led coup. The party's policy fluctuated, first attacking Mosaddegh as "an agent of American imperialism", then giving him some support during and after the July 1952 uprising. On the 15th of August, a coup attempt against Mosaddegh was after thwarted, thanks, in part to information uncovered by the Tudeh TPMO military network, but 2 days later party militants inadvertently helped destabilize the government by staging demonstrations to pressure Mosaddegh to declare Iran a democratic republic. As this would have overturned Iran's constitutional monarchy, Mosaddegh reacted by calling out troops to suppress the demonstrators. The party then demobilized late the next day, making it unavailable to fight the coup the day after. By 1957, the TPMO was crushed and thousands of party members had been arrested. Number 2. The mass arrests, destruction of its organization, and execution of some 40 to 50 leaders following the coup has been said to have destroyed the Tudeh. Between 1953 and 1957, Iranian security forces, using brute force, together with the breaking of the cryptographic code, probably with CIA know-how, tracked down 4,121 party members. This constituted the whole Tudeh underground and more than half the party membership. Tudeh infiltration of the military by the TPMO totaled 477 members in the armed forces, 22 colonels, 69 majors, 100 captains, 193 lieutenants, 19 non-commissioned officers and 63 military cadets. Ervand Abrahamian notes that none of these were in the crucial tank divisions around Tehran that could have been used for a coup d'état, and which the Shah had screened carefully. Ironically, a Tudeh colonel had been in charge of the Shah's personal security, as well as that of Vice President Richard Nixon when he visited Iran. The Tudeh had the opportunity to assassinate the Shah and the US Vice President, but not to launch a coup. Mazir Behrooz is more optimistic about the party's chances of stopping the coup, saying that while most of the Tudeh officers were in non-combat posts, they were in a position to access and distribute weapons. In their memoirs, TPMO high and middle-ranking members have confirmed their ability to distribute weapons, and even to assassinate key Iranian leaders of the coup. Number 1. Despite repression, the party has managed to survive. Though since the Iranian Revolution the party is officially banned in Iran, and individuals found to be affiliated with communist or socialist groups risk imprisonment, active members have remained, and it continues to operate as an underground political organization there. This was mentioned in an Amnesty International report on political prisoners in Iran. Today the party leadership is mainly based in exile, as is the new Central Committee elected in 1992. The party has taken positions against privatization, criticizes the electoral system in the country and anti-labor legislation. In 2017 the party supported Jean-Luc Mélenchon, as a leftist force in France, commemorated the Russian Revolution, pledged solidarity with the Venezuelan Communist Party, and criticized Iranian reformists for betraying their ideals. What do you think of our list? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want more videos from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.